He had, it looks like, seen you visually speeding over, looks like 45 plus miles per hour.
Okay, an officer is trying to explain what's going on, and I'm like, can I just see the radar that you claim you used, sir? Just a readout saying it's been certified, anything. The officer was very polite right until I asked for that, and then out of nowhere, it's like a whole 180. He went off like, I don't have to ride that. That's not your right to have. And I'm like, well,
All right, and then we have Elizabeth Hood, who I did see present.
hello.
Good morning, Miss Hood. Thank you for being patient. So it does appear that you do qualify for the deferral program. Is that something you're interested in?
Um, Honestly, I'd rather try for a dismissal, ma'am.
Okay.
I provided photos as to what, why I couldn't have been speeding. Um,
Okay. 1 second. Let me, 1 second. Let me see what I can find. Maybe in
I,
Laserfish. Yes. Okay. I had to go to a different system to get the
okay.
document. So let's see.
And ma'am, is there any way to get a copy from the clerk showing I was present today, as I have to bring that into my office for leaving early today?
You would have to contact the clerk's office to get a copy of their notes. We don't have a transcription, or
Okay.
anything like that from just like that we can send out. So you'd have to contact the clerk's office.
Okay.
So let me just review these documents 1 moment.
Okay. I don't know if it helps. It was a commercial grade mixer in the back of my car. It was loaded down. So if it helps on I believe it's the first photo where the officer's standing in front of the 25-mile-an-hour sign. I was actually in that little inlet before the sign where he stopped me.
Okay.
Um, and I was already, I also showed where he was parked in another photo. And he was claiming I was speeding on the bridge. Well, he's got a whole guardrail and the bridge and everything in the way. And there's no way I could have been with that mixer in the back, ma'am. I
Okay,
had two
one
other
moment. I'm
people in the
just
vehicle.
it's yeah, I'm reading everything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just 1 moment. No, it's quite all right. So where you're saying that the officer's radar couldn't have caught you.
I don't see how he could, ma'am. There's a whole guardrail, the concrete, and then he's also right next to the freeway. And he said it was on the bridge that I was speeding. And by that point, I had already started pumping my brakes to get down to 30 because I knew it was coming up, and the sign was up by Red Lion to be down to 25 by. And I almost stopped, honestly, right next to him because of how hard I was pumping the brakes. And that's when he came right in behind me because I thought he was coming into traffic. So I slammed on my brakes even harder, and it actually pushed me forward with how hard I hit him because I thought he was coming in. So I was almost stopped dead next to him at the point because he stopped as well. And I'm like, is
Looks
he
like
coming in? What is he doing? And my fiance was in the passenger seat, and the gentleman who helped us load it, the mixer, in, was in the back seat. And I said, okay, everyone see my speed right now because I have a guarantee. And sure as heck enough, he came in behind me to say I was speeding. And they both saw that I was at 30 at that point. And then right as I got up to him, I was almost at a dead stop. And I was down to 25 before he even got in behind me. I was trying to speed back up so he could get out. Because I didn't know if he had a call or what's going on. But when he pulled me over, I'm like, okay, sir, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to do this. I tried to explain there was a commercial grade mixer in the back, but when you have two people in there that just won't shut up, and then you have an officer who's trying to explain what's going on, and I'm like, can I just see the radar that you claim you used, sir? Just a readout saying it's been certified, anything. The officer was very polite right until I asked for that, and then out of nowhere, it's like a whole 180. He went off like, I don't have to provide that. That's not your right to have. And I'm like, well, okay, burden of proof, but at the same time, it was kind of chaotic, if you know what I
sure.
mean. So I'm trying to
So
shut them up and
okay.
hear what
Um,
he's saying, and he just said, "You're getting a ticket." I'm like,
all right.
okay.
So I have read everything, the documentation that you have sent in, the statements of it's because I think the
Uh,
documentation was statements from Yeah, Paul
Paul Gibson.
Gibson
My
and
fiance didn't fill one out, unfortunately. He said that it's basically the same as Paul's, because he didn't know if his word would even be worthy because he's my fiance. And I said, well, I'll just let whoever know that. But he'd be more than willing to write a statement if you'd like.
it's needed to be submitted for today's hearing. So I
Okay.
have reviewed everything. I'm also looking at the officer's statement because there was a lot of discussion about speeding on the bridge versus not. It looks like seen you visually speeding over, looks like 45 plus miles per hour. Visual speed estimation occurred after the suspect vehicle passed by the 25 mile per hour speed zone. There were no other vehicles traveling southbound and northbound at this time. Then the radar gave a digital reading of your speed at 43 in the 25. The suspect was approximately 200 feet behind the vehicle, so there are rear mounted radars. Well within the 25 mile per hour speed zone, slowed to a 33 mile per hour before passing the police vehicle, which was the final digital reading. So it looks like he had you on the radar, kind of slowing down and getting you there. You had indicated that you were only doing 35 on the bridge. He said the speed on the bridge was not in question because the speed was not in the 25 mile per hour zone. Also said that the radar did not read her vehicle's speed on the bridge because of the curvature on the road. It was only measuring the 200-foot distance behind the vehicle, not the 500 distance to the bridge. You had indicated you wanted to see the radar reading. It's permanently mounted in the dash, and it would require you to actually sit in the driver's seat of the patrol vehicle, which is generally not what officers allow people to do.
Well,
I
if I may just point out the photos, ma'am, of where
okay,
he was parked. And there's no way I could have been going that fast, ma'am. I'm telling you, I had two people looking at my speedometer.
and I
And
have a
he didn't provide it.
calibrated speedometer and an officer saying he visually estimated your speed and got a reading well within this 25 mile per hour speed zone.
The 25 mile an hour was ahead of me, ma'am. There wasn't anything. It's still 35 off the bridge, ma'am.
Okay.
And I was down to 30 according to the people in my vehicle. Because like I said, when I
Well,
hit
you
those
told the
brakes,
officer 35.
I said I was doing 35 as I was coming over the bridge, ma'am.
Okay.
And I was trying to get down as fast as I could. And I'm wondering if when I hit the brakes and it projected me, if that's what maybe he read.
As a 10 mile an hour jump from 33 to
Possibly,
43.
ma'am. It's a commercial mixer, and my car was heavily loaded down with it. I have an SUV, and I didn't realize I was getting a commercial mixer for $200. It was supposed to be a countertop. So as I'm slowing down, I mean, if you have any severe weight in the back of your vehicle, it will project it forward quite a bit. And I don't know what it could have, if I was at 30 and it projected me forward,
All right.
maybe
All right,
that was
ma'am.
the reading.
I hear what you're saying. We have still quite a few more people left on the docket. You've had a chance to provide your testimony as well as the documentation. At this point, I am looking at the officer's narrative and everything that I've indicated prior to this, that we have a visual estimation of your speed at 45 plus miles per hour in a posted 25 with a reading then of 43 in a 25. I understand what you're saying. I hear you what you were saying. However, I just find the officer's affidavit more credible with the combination of his visual estimation and the certified speedometer reading or the Doppler reading. So what I am going to do, it looks like you were cited for 18 miles over the speed limit. So what I am going to do, because you have no history, is I'm going to amend it down to speeding 5 miles over. And then I'm going to reduce the amount down to $90. So you'll have 60 days to either pay this in full or set up a payment plan. And this document will be emailed out to the address that we have on file for you.
Emailed or mailed, ma'am?
Mailed
Sorry.
out, mailed.
Okay, and do I just go to the courthouse to pay it?
You can either pay in full at the district court clerk's website or set up a payment plan through CPMS. You can also pay online as well. There are a few different options. This document should have that for you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hood.
Ma'am. Have a good day.
You too.